Hi, my name is Jenna, and I'm here at the Waterwise Community Center in Montclair, California, which is on the traditional land of the Tongva people who have stewarded this land for generations. Today, we're going to explore weather and climate. Let's go! First, let's go on a weather walk in our garden here in Montclair. So as I walk, I'm going to make observations. So the weather today looks cloudy, a little bit cloudy, but there is some sun. It feels cool, the slight breeze, but also the warmth from the sun. And it looks like a blue sky, so it's mostly sunny with some clouds. Now I want you to observe the weather. Look out the window or go outside and observe the weather. What does it feel and look like? So pause the video now and go do some science. Great job doing science. So what was the weather outside when you observed it? Was it sunny, windy, or rainy? Weather is a combination of sunlight, temperature, rain, snow, and wind in a particular place and time. And so weather actually changes. If you look out the window later today, maybe it'll be cloudier or cooler or even rainy. And that's because weather changes minute by minute in the sky. Great, so let's act out how weather changes minute by minute in the sky. So you're gonna copy my actions as well as repeat after me. So let's start with it being hot outside. So you can fan yourself like it's hot and say, weather changes minute by minute in the sky. But then it starts to rain. So let's wiggle our fingers down and as we put our arms down and say, weather changes minute by minute in the sky. And then we might have some wind. So now wiggle your arms like the wind blowing around and repeat after me. Weather changes minute by minute in the sky. And the wind might cause it to get cold. So you're going to rub your hands on your arms like you're shivering. And again, for the last time, say, weather changes minute by minute in the sky. Awesome, great job everyone. Now I'm going to show you a time-lapse video of the weather changing over the course of a whole day in a different region, Florida, specifically Miami Beach. This video was taken over 24 hours, but sped up so we can see how the weather changes. I observe how when there's more clouds, it seems like it's colder, and when there are less clouds, it seems warmer because of the sun. Weather also changes over the course of days and weeks. Here is the weather forecast for this week in December 2020, and we can see how the weather changes. Some days it's partly cloudy, and other days it's partly sunny. In January, we might have some days when it's rainy, and other days when it's sunny. That's because weather is only temporary. Climate describes more than just the weather in a couple of days. Instead, climate is long-term patterns of weather over the course of a long time, 30 years or more. Let's compare how the climate of our region, Southern California, is different than the climate in another region, Miami Beach, Florida, where we watched the time-lapse video. First, we'll talk about if the climate in Southern California is dry or wet. The climate in Southern California is dry. It's a lot drier here in Southern California than it is in other areas, even Miami Beach, Florida. Next, is the climate here sunny or cloudy? It's sunny. Even though we do have some cloudy days here, it's definitely not as cloudy here as it is in Miami Beach. Finally, is the weather here in Southern California warm or cold? It is warm. It's definitely warm here in Southern California, which is similar to Miami Beach as well. So our climate in Southern California is dry, warm, and sunny. We might have some cloudy or rainy days due to changes in weather, but our climate generally stays the same. However, now scientists are noticing that weather and climate are both changing. Keeping an eye on changing weather can help us plan ahead. If we notice rain clouds forming overhead, then we can grab an umbrella or a raincoat before going outside. And it also helps to keep an eye on our changing climate as well. Here are some ways we can measure weather and climate. You can use a rain gauge like this one, or even one that you make yourself. And you can watch one of our other videos that my teammate Monica made about how to use a rain gauge on a rainy day. You can also use a weather calendar to record the weather every day and start to notice patterns in how the weather changes. In the description below, there's a link to your own weather calendar template. And you can be like a climate scientist who records weather over the course of 30 years to notice patterns as well. You can also observe changes in climate. Remember, climate describes the typical weather conditions in a particular area or region over a long time, 30 years or more. So you can ask a family member who's over the age of 30 what the climate was like when they were a kid, and if it's different or similar to how it is now. We'd love to hear your observations about weather or climate, so once you make those observations, comment them down below. Keep on exploring and observing, scientists. Bye-bye.